my wife saw the product, used one of the skincare products, and decided that she wanted to do something more with it. And that's how we got involved. We needed the opportunity. We'd recently emigrated to South Africa and we're starting again, actually, come from Zim. And I had a consultant post in Durban in anesthetics. And, I was working as a doctor there. So, but we're still starting brand new. And so it was, there was a need, but I was quite happy for Pat to do it. I couldn't see myself being involved. I was an anaesthetist, and anesthetists keep people quiet as opposed to talk to them. And so it was certainly not something that I could see myself being involved with, but it was okay if Pat, my wife, wanted to do it. So that's how it started. At the time, I was involved in research at the university, and I was doing a lot of reading in the library. And one of the things that interested me was the fact that here was Pat talking to me about nutrition, which I knew nothing about, but talking about things like omega. Then suddenly I started seeing in the research journals, in the New England Journal of Medicine particularly, information about omega-3. So suddenly I'm getting scientific information as well as what I considered to be not such true information coming from a different direction. And when you put them together, of course, you see it all marries up. So that initial skepticism, which was big, was there. Obviously, with the cleaning products and the skincare products, they work. But with nutrition, it's more difficult to kind of determine that that's the case. But we were using, particularly the omega, but after a period of time, I can't remember exactly when, but I got hepatitis and I was very unwell. And Pat insisted that I take a whole bunch of stuff. And that made a big difference for me. So now I could feel that the nutrition worked. I just didn't know why it worked. And so when you start investigating more, you realize that there's this amazing long history of research and development. And any questions that I had, I was able to get good, solid physiological answers to how these products were working and what they were doing in the body. And so that initial skepticism started to disappear because of information. As Andre was saying earlier, we're scientists and we want to know that there is proof here. But I think one of the big differences with Life products overall is the fact that they are food-based. The basic philosophy of the company has always been it should be based in nature, but to have scientific backup to that. And so that was where it gelled for me that those things were in place. And my confidence and understanding and all of those things started to increase, improve, and get to the point where I was very comfortable now talking to people and talking to them about the product and that it could make a difference. And over the years, certainly, personally, with our family, I've got 3 daughters and 8 grandkids, making sure that they all get what they need nutritionally. And as you can imagine, right now, with all of the various goings on with the coronavirus, just making even more sure that our immune systems are functioning the way that they should. And we've got the facility to be able to do that with excellent products. I think that's the big thing. You get products that have a label, but you want to know what's behind that label. And that is where we can be absolutely confident with our scientific advisory board and what that has provided. But along with, as I say, an excellent range of products that actually make a difference to us is a financial opportunity. And that has certainly been our experience, Pat and my experience over the 30 odd years that we've been involved. It has provided for us, literally. And the education of our kids and all of those things. And of course, our retirement. I mean, I don't ever want to retire. I see no reason to do that. And here we have an opportunity where no one is going to tap me on the shoulder and say, Barry, you're reaching retirement age. It's time you left. Can't happen. Self-employed. And it's amazing. And then you look at a situation like we're in right now in lockdown, we're able to continue to operate. I think, we have something that is so versatile and financially that we can continue to operate online like we're doing. I mean, this is just incredible that we can do this. But with a range of products that you can be very comfortable in recommending to whoever you come across. And I've often said, you can take your hand, dip it into a box blindfolded of our products, and whatever you take out will be of benefit to you. By knowing a little bit more about the products, you can maybe guide the hand a bit better, but you are going to be and have a benefit from that. Just one little story. With my hepatitis, there was another anaesthetist, a Polish guy, who was very unwell at pretty well the same time as I was. I think I saw his wife probably about 10 years ago now. So this is 20 odd years later. He still cannot walk into an operating theatre because his liver was damaged to the point where just smelling the anesthetic gases in the theatre tips him over into where he becomes jaundiced. Now, my blood levels were much higher than his at the time. And the repair that happened was much better. And so here I am in a situation where I am not incapacitated at all by that episode of hepatitis 30 odd years ago. I can eat and drink and anything that, I need to. So it really, in my mind, we've got an amazing range of products. There's no doubt about that. And we have a phenomenal opportunity, a phenomenal business opportunity that works. Thanks, Andrew.
That is just an incredible story. And I've got to say, Barry, I think Barry in the beginning was one of those very, very tough customers. And we've all had those in the beginning. He was extremely skeptical about nutrition, which he mentioned, until his wife, Pat, got him onto the nutrition under his circumstances and the illness that he had picked up. And he experienced the benefit. And by experiencing the benefit, that's where the believability came from. And that is why we say the number one daily success habit is use the products. If Barry never used the products, he could have read about these products and nutrition in the medical journals, but it was through using the products that he built up this incredible, unshakable belief. And then you would have heard, Barry transitioned into the business side of things. He believed in the product, and so as a viable business opportunity. But the interesting part of that story is, again, he was incredibly skeptical. It was only really when Pat, his wife's little part-time business, started doubling his full-time anesthetics income in 2 or 3 years, I think it was, Barry. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
4.5, and I
Four and
went
a half.
full time. Yeah.
Four and a half years. Okay, so it works. You did a full circle, Barry. Well done.
Well, it took me
Okay.
about 17 years going through medical school and specializing to get to that point where Pat was able to double my income in a 4.5 year period.
Wow.
It's an opportunity that works.
Powerful. Fantastic. Barry, thank you so much.